I like the rules of traded pool. For example, the fact that you have a daily loss, that's fine, because when you lost much in a day and you reach that daily loss, you may try to bypass that and overtrading and try to revenge the market the rest of the day. So it's better to take a pause and try it on the next day. Every day it's different. Maybe you're having one or two red days, but eventually you're gonna make it. So you don't have to force the trades. So you have to be patient. And thanks to that, I'll be able to improve my setup.
Welcome everybody to another funded trader of Traded Pool. Today, Carlos is with me, a new funded trader. He traded on max $200,000 of buying power and past the evaluation. Already got the payout, right? Roughly
Yes.
3K? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we'll see that, talk about that. Lots of interesting topics to cover with Carlos. He's trading mostly short small caps, right?
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to cover those, and obviously how he passed the evaluation and how he got funded. So Carlos, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the opportunity, Michael, and to all the staff of Traded Pool. This is definitely something that we were looking for in order to get more profits for retail traders. So this is an excellent opportunity for all of those who want to trade. And talking about my experience, I discovered stock trading maybe last year, January 2024. I was doing the typical trading, the buy and hold the big or large caps like Nvidia or Microsoft, and putting some of part of my savings. But when I was looking to the charts at the end of the day, for example, in sites like Yahoo or Google Finance, and I was looking those small caps going up or maybe soaring up to 200% in a day, I was looking, hey, if I will be able to join that wave in advance, I will be able to make more profit. So I tried that. At the beginning, it was really good. I remember a situation on November 2024 with a stock called Nucleus, and I joined into that trade for a long. And that went and I entered at $9, and that ended at like maybe $80 at the end of the day. So yeah, it was like a boom for me. But that was a lucky trade, and I didn't know why that happened. So I was like gambling with all the things. And once that happened, the next 2 weeks I lost everything because I was doing the same with the small cap, and I was holding it back. So yeah, I lost everything. But since January 2025 this year, I started to study a little bit more about these small caps. And what I noticed is that most of the time you have to share all these stuff because they're just pumping down because of the numbers of the company. They're not putting, they are facing financial issues. The CEO is not taking the right decision. So for so many different reasons, they just go pump and then just tanking and that's a good opportunity to short it. But the thing is that when I was trading with my broker, they didn't offer me the chance to short the stocks. So I just went hold and then sell. But then I found Traded Pool where you can short stocks and you can also obviously get funded, and basically you can leverage your earnings, because obviously you cannot easily get like maybe 20K or 100K or 200K. And it's better if you can do a Traded Pool or a prop firm, because you are putting yourself in a test and a proof to try your skills. Because if you can show that you're not a trader but a risk manager as well, you can be successful in trading, especially if you're managing a amount of money. So yeah, that's basically it.
That's a good one. And I mean, you've been trading your own capital, right? The broker account as well?
In the past, I was trading with my own capital with broker account. So then I decided to move to this prop firm.
Wow. Okay. So currently you're not trading a broker account. It's an amazing shift.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see that there are more, I like the rules of Traded Pool. For example, the fact that you have a daily loss, that's fine, because when you lost too much in a day and you reach that daily loss, you may try to bypass that and overtrading and try to revenge in the market the rest of the day. So it's better to take a pause and try it on the next day. Every day it's different. Maybe you're having one or two red days, but eventually you're gonna make it. So you don't have to force the trades. So you have to be patient. And thanks to that, I be able to improve my setup because I have to be honest, Michael. In order to be funded, I have to do like 7 attempts because at the beginning I was doing the same thing that I was doing in the past, buying small caps instead of sharing them. And yes, then I realized the other issue that I was having was the size of the shares. So I had to reduce the size, and I have to work on different setups, and I have to create like a checklist in order to know if this trade may meet the criteria. And yeah, I was improving along those 7 attempts. But yeah, I'm happy because basically I passed the evaluation with the biggest account that you have now. Right now, I know that you're offering the Max and the Flex account. I tried the Flex, and it was pretty cool. But the problem is that my setup were not the right one. So once I saw the Max account, I like it because of the consistency rule. Because once you get funded, you're not subjected to that. And once we see our number, I'm going to show you something interesting that happened with one of the accounts, which I had a big issue with the consistency rule. But I realized with the setups that are working right now, I'm able to get the profit and reach the target. So I'm happy now with Traded Pool, and I'm happy that because I'm aiming to go for a long-term trade journey with you guys. So yeah, that's why I'm decided to go full time with you.
First of all, it's incredible because when we talk about it here, especially in the office, about the opportunity that the Trader Pool gets, we mostly talking about the shift and the evolution in trading when it comes to how you access the market and how you trade, right? Because you used to have, you needed to call your broker or your bank in order to trade. And then you got access to become a retail trader. And then you had maybe Robinhood that changed the game on the commission free. And now we really see and believe in that shift when you do not need to trade with your broker, at least not actively, maybe for a swing or investments for long term, but on a short term or speculative trading, this is definitely a better solution because the risk is much lower and you have enough capital that actually worth your time and all the risk that comes with it. So amazing to hear it from you. I want to ask you something about the evaluations. You said you needed at least 7 attempts in order to pass. And I always say that completely transparent. When someone is trading, in most cases, it will take 3 to 5 attempts in order to pass the evaluation because many things you need to get used to the trading platform. Although you do have a free demo account for 14 days to practice, you need to get used to the rules, tweak your strategies. There are a bunch of stuff that you need to do in order to really understand what you're going to do with it and how you're going to operate. And the fact that you didn't give up even after 5 and 6 attempts, that's amazing. And it shows your, consistency. You talked about the consistency rule. So this is definitely one parameter that we can say about you. You got the consistency and the willingness to continue until you reach the targets. That's a great feedback on the person, the trader that comes to trade a pool. That's great to hear. What was the shift, the change that got you? You lost like 5 attempts, 6 attempts, and then what was it that changed your mind or switch it to actually find the rhythm?
When you're winning trades, you don't use to see what can you do better to improve your answers and setup. But only when you lose the trade, you are watching the charts again and your setup and trying to do the tweaks. So after losing those attempts, I was trying to improve my setup definitely to try to be more strictful because at the beginning, like I mentioned before, I was doing any type of thing with the small cap because when there's a pump, there's a lot of volatility behind, and that can go up or go down. You don't know, but if you see some patterns, if you can look to your indicators, you may try to to put the probabilities in your favor. So in this case, I now have a strong setup, and I'm happy with it. But I never gave up because there were moments that I was winning a lot, but I noted that I was the reason that I lost the other account. It was because I was over trading most of the time, and I had to, yeah. The hardest part, to be honest, the hardest part on trading is to make $1, especially if you're $1 away of the target, because you start to overtrade to get the dollar, and it happened, and that happened even with this account. I was like maybe 1K away from the target, and I started to overtrade, and then because I was about to reach the target in 3 days, but I started to overtrade, and then I ended up getting the target until the next week. But it's okay. It's part of the training. I don't know if there's a trader who wins 100% of the trades. I don't think that exists. So
There's no such.
yeah, there's no such a things like that. And for example, I can earn like 2K today, but lose the same tomorrow, but 3 the other day. That depends on the market condition, because as I mentioned before, every day is the same day. But if you stick to your strategy, if you don't lose the sight, if you don't try to overtrade or revenge of the market, you eventually will be able to succeed. And yeah, that's the situation that happened with me,
Yeah,
and I'm
definitely.
really happy with all this.
You should definitely be, in doing that, passing the evaluation, getting funded, and you also got the payout of the 3K. I mean, you showed yourself that you can do that. And that's the most important thing, another milestone that you achieved in your training. So that's incredible.
And another thing that I like to share, Michael, is that I got my 3K payout, and basically with that payout, I just covered all that I have to spend on the 7 attempts. And yeah, that's something that can be, because as you mentioned before, as a retail trader, you're not risking too much, but once you win, you earn more that amount that you have lost. So definitely, obviously, we this is not about get funded and get payout and then lose. No, this is trying to look. I'm aiming to look for a long-term relationship with you guys and take this seriously. So I'm trying to be full-time on this and get at least one trade. If there's no chances, that's okay. But at least to try it. So yeah, I'm trying to focus on the trade now, because I have to take care of this account. This is not my money. This is someone else's money. So I have to be very careful, and I have to think as a risk manager, not only as a trader.
And I will add on top of what you mentioned about the over trading. This is for you guys that maybe just started the evaluation or about to start. One of the most important things is to keep an eye on this over trading. When you're over trading, I'll see a lot of, obviously, I'm watching tons of accounts that we have. A lot of the guys that terminate the account really doing over trading, revenge trading, just trying to, like you said, Carlos, you're reaching the target, you're just about to hit the target, and because you're over trading, you're losing it and then get out of bounds and basically out of balance, and then you lose the account. So make sure you do that. Don't over trade. I'm going to share my screen and show you your dashboard. For those of you not familiar with it, every trader gets his own dashboard, so you can track your stats and really see the progress of the account. You can, of course, export the file as well and put it in, for example, Trader Sync, one of the companies that we're working with for trading journal as well. So you traded, this is the evaluation account, you traded the max 200,000, and like I said, you needed to reach a certain goal. You did definitely that. Day default, max loss for that specific account. This is the progress chart. We'll talk about that. You did it within 7 days, so that's amazing. 7 days to pass the evaluation. The consistency rule that we talked about, 66% is very nice. A 0.8 obviously is a negative. Maybe we need to work on that or find how to hold the position just a little bit longer. But first time when you're looking at it, it's pretty solid. You had a nice run, reached like you said, reached the moment that you're almost at the target. Going over your trades, mostly small caps, short. from time to time reply, but you can see, I mean, in 7 days you did a lot of trades. So
Well, every day there's an opportunity at least for shorting something. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. You do use nice sizes, and you have, because you're working with $200,000, you have enough space, and these are small caps, so you have enough space to work and actually pull up nice numbers for each trade. Do you usually do it like entry and exit, one entry, one exit, or you scale it in, scale it out?
No, I just one entry and one exit. Yes, if I lose a trade, I have to accept it. I don't try to revenge on the same stock. So let's try another stop or maybe another day. So yeah, one entry, one exit.
That's nice. One exit, one entry, one exit with 66% success rate. That's very nice. And what about, let's talk a little bit about your stop losses, right? Because if 66% is a high number to reach, and because you're not scaling, that means that every time you hit the mouse key, you need to be right. How do you understand where and how to put your stop loss in order to continue to stay in the game?
Yeah, that's also part of the strategy because, for example, normally I'm aiming to 1K per trade, or if I can win 1K or lose 1K. But let's say, for example, if a small cap just got pumped like above 60%, I would imagine that could be tried to reach that lower again, maybe in the rest of the day, or at least at the half of the price, and that would be like my take profit. But if I'm losing, let's say 1K, I don't put the stop loss or take profit immediately because sometimes I trade in extended hours, pre-market and after hours, and you cannot put stop loss on that because that's one of the rules. Try to pull. The thing is that, yes, that's my average, 1K of winning or 1K of loss. You may see some other that I have some losses about 1K. I think that my biggest loss was for about 2.5K, something like that. And the reason is because in that day I built like a buffer. I won like a lot of trades in that day, so I decided to risk a little bit more. So that's why you see like there's a loss of 2.5K. Which is not normal, to be honest, because you have your daily post of 2K. But if you have a buffer, you have more space to tolerate a trade that it's not going in your favor. So my biggest win, it was like 4K, something like that. And here's the funny thing: because of that big win, I had an issue with the consistency because that trade was represented like maybe like 50% of my earnings. So I had to trade more. I reached the target. I was about okay, but I have to trade more because of that trade, because I have to show consistency that I can earn with different trades. And that's cool because that's part of the journey as well. You have to show consistency, take care of the account, because as I mentioned before, we're aiming for a long-term business trading with this program.
Yeah, exactly. So for those of you not familiar, the consistency rule means that you need your best trade. For example, in this case, we have two plans. The other one is 50%, but in this case, your best trade cannot be responsible to more than 30% out of the total. So if you have a trade like ASST, which is 4,400 and responsible for more than 30%, you just continue to trade until that trade will be less than 30%, which is this is what you did, Carlos, and you reached the 15,000 instead of 12 to lower that big trade that you had. Going to achievements, let's show off a little bit. Like I said, this is your payout that you got, 3,100. So that's a decent one. Very nice for the beginner. Passed the evaluation, the funded certificate, and it's incredible to see the progress. Like I said before, I'm watching so many traders, so many accounts that failing and passing the evaluation, and to see the progress. This is for me the incredible thing. You learn a lot from it. What was it for you? What did you learn from all the process until you reach the payout moment?
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to give up. you have to give it a chance to trade, especially in stocks. You will find your pattern. As I mentioned before we started this interview, you have already done different interviews with some different traders with different styles. And maybe, for example, in my case, I have found my style with shorting small caps, but there are some other traders that are really good, maybe going for longs with small, large caps. And yeah, you just try it for maybe 3 months at least until you get consistency. And then obviously take advantage of the demo account, and you will see what you need to improve and what are you doing better. So it's something that you definitely need to try. You will not you will hardly succeed on the first try, to be honest. As I mentioned before, there's no such a thing as traders like win 100% of the trades, but you have to know how to control the risk and how to avoid those kind of trades that you don't need to do. You don't need to overtrade. So you have to take care of the good trade, the good setup, but you have to look for your own style. So yeah, another thing is that has been a really good journey, to be honest. And one of the reason that I wanted to do the interview is to motivate the people to never give up. And until you get it, it's something like maybe you're on your third attempt or your fourth attempt, but you still trying. Use demo account, paper trading. Don't try to risk a lot, or you can only just watch the charts the whole day and trying to simulate that, like if you are trading and see if your trade were right or not. But you have to try it in a different way. There are so many tools that you can use to try your strategies. So don't give up. Still trading and watch you, and eventually you're gonna get it.
Yeah, that's amazing, and especially to see, like I said, the progress until you make it, and you can tell yourself. I remember when I started to trade, when you don't really know if you're doing right or not, losing money, making money, but you don't really have a way, a process, right? And then all of a sudden, when guys like you come and take a payout, for example, or even passing the evaluation, you know that you're on the right path to become profitable and to make it in the market. So that's super great.
And I consider I don't think that I'm profitable at all until, let's say, if maybe I can stay here for maybe 6 months more. I would say, okay, I'm profitable. But if I stay here for 1 year or longer, definitely I would say, okay, now I'm profitable and I consistent with my strategy, and that's what I'm looking for, to stay more time here with the same strategy. And if it's not, I would just do some tweaks, but try to survive on the market. So that's where the goal. Yeah.
We will do another interview next year after
Hopefully.
that.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna do it.
Alrighty, amazing, Carlos. Thanks so much for sharing all the information. It was a pleasure meeting you. And again, congrats on passing the evaluation in the pay. And for those of you who wanna check us out, go to tradepool.com. You can join, go through the same process that everyone goes. Just pass the evaluation, trade it, pass the evaluation, get funded, split the profit. Alrighty, Carlos, thanks so much for coming, buddy.
Thank you too, and well, hopefully let's have the other interview next year.
For sure.